Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's kind of late right now. Wow, it's really dark in here. It is currently 9:20. I'm just about to make myself a tea, but I thought I'd just do a quick intro here. Today is the video that is going to be about my weight loss journey and my so-called transformation. I kept saying a few weeks ago that I was gonna have this up, so my apologies that it's been so long. I am going to get back on to filming and like having videos every weekend. It's just the matter of finding content to film that is like watchable. Anyways, I'm gonna just make myself a tea here quick, and then I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna chat about my transformation. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Well, that was an absolute fail, and now my camera is all, ow! I dropped like the tag. Leave it to Anna. I dropped the tag in my tea. I don't know, I was trying to be a YouTuber, a good YouTuber. Okay, so if I'm being like completely honest, to start off this video, I don't really know exactly where to start. So I had put a thing on my Instagram, like one of those polls about me doing this video, and some people had asked me some questions. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by answering questions and then kind of just go with the flow of it and kind of see where I can incorporate parts of my story and then add on or elaborate. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. My glasses are gonna fog up. Okay, that's too hot. Okay. Okay. One of the questions I got asked was, what keeps you motivated? So if I like backtrack a couple of years, I've always been, like, if you read my post on Instagram, I do say in there that I have been off and on about weight and body image. I feel like it's been like my entire life, but it has been like from a time span probably from when I was 15 till I was 19. But what keeps me so motivated is the fact that I wasn't, I think. I never was motivated. I pretended I was, or at least like tricked my mind to think I was, but I'd be like on this grind, and I would go and I'd think I was doing things properly. I need to stop with my hand gestures. I thought that I would be doing things properly when I was younger, or I would try to stay on top of the ball, but the things that I was doing weren't, one, healthy or attainable. Those were things that I didn't understand. I think that within this past year I've learned so much more about like myself, but also like the health and benefits of staying on track and creating goals that are attainable and achievable. But I never used to be motivated, and I think that I had a reality check. Things clicked in with me, and I was like, I feel like we're in a type of age where people sit, for instance myself, like I would sit in this self-doubt and pity, and I would be embarrassed of myself and felt disgusted with myself, and I'd constantly be like, I hate the way I look, I don't like myself, like all these negative, unhealthy comments, and I'd constantly repeat them in my head. And I'm guilty of it myself, and I know many others are too, but I would sit there and I would complain and I would complain, but I wouldn't make a change. And that was my issue. I would sit there and I'd be like, I want to look like that, and I'd find all these pictures and save them on Instagram and be like, I want to look like that, but I would never put the effort in to look like that. One, don't compare yourselves to other people. I used to do that all the time, as hard as it is. Obviously, when you go on Instagram and you see Kim Kardashian, whatever, I don't follow any of those people, but I follow someone, for instance, like Tammy Hembrow. Obviously, super nice body, but for my type of body, not achievable. No one is gonna have the exact same body, and unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Although everyone says, I wanna look like that, and people say like, oh, if you work hard, you can achieve those goals. Yeah, you can achieve those types of goals, but you will never 100% look like that picture, which means that you technically would never 100% be satisfied if you're always trying to strive for something that you aren't. So that became a huge like issue for me, was I would compare myself and I'd be like, I want this, but wouldn't make the effort to do it. Until this past December, I had kind of hit a wall. I did a workout with my roommate, and after the workout I went to go shower, and I got undressed to go shower and I broke down. I cried and I hit that floor because I was so utterly disgusted with myself. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Now, at that time, I was 151.6 pounds. For me personally, that was the heaviest I had ever been. Nothing wrong with that weight, just the number for myself was discouraging just because that wasn't anything that I had ever been used to. But yeah, so that was something that I wasn't used to. Now, speaking of numbers, I used to be so like obsessed with numbers. I was like, oh my god, like I need to be this. Like, for instance, I fluctuated with numbers my whole life. Go back to grade 9, hadn't really went through puberty. I was like 110 pounds. Fast forward to grade 10, I was in my own little world, doing my own thing, wasn't eating the best, had like got my period, puberty was happening, went on birth control, so this caused me to gain an excessive amount of weight. I went from 110 to 145 pounds. I was heavier, but I wasn't like concerned. Like I was just like, okay, like this is happening, whatever. It wasn't like one day I was 110 pounds and overnight I was 140. Like I gradually put on weight. And then after a breakup, I was not in a good mental state. So I actually was not nice to myself, and I didn't eat enough. I was not properly getting enough nutrition, and I would eat about like 1 Caesar salad a day, maybe some chicken on it, granola bars, and I would drink way too much water, probably an amount that was insufficiently, like it was unhealthy for myself to be drinking the amount that I did. I'm not exactly sure how long a like high school classes, I feel like I don't even remember, but I remember vaguely in English class of like grade 11, I believe, I would like leave class, I feel like 6 times because I had to go to the bathroom so constantly because of how much fluids I was drinking. So at this time, when I was not properly taking care of myself, I dropped from 145 pounds to like 104 within 2 months. Now, unfortunately, with that happening, I didn't even realize that I was losing weight. I thought I was still fat until my dad had spoke with me and had said, Anna, no more losing weight. Like you're getting too skinny. I had abs. Like if you look at my other body image video, I do put pictures in. I had abs without working out. So if you want to kind of listen a little bit more about that, I did put that in my other video. But yeah, I was just like not healthy. But then I fluctuated back up. I was eating again. I was going to see a trainer, and I went back up to about 120 to 130. Now I stayed about at this rate, but I still wasn't eating properly. Eating has been a huge ordeal for me. Part of my weight loss, like the number one reason has been diet. Like they say, like your abs are built in the kitchen, 110%. Like I had to change my eating habits because they were not good. I thought they were good, but realistically they were not whole foods. They were not nutritious. Like I was just eating the wrong things together, but I thought they were the right things. But yeah, so I put my weight back up, and then with school happening, I had a meal plan. I was no longer like doing activities. So growing up, I played sports my whole life, but first year college, I didn't do activities. Like I was in school, I wasn't playing sports, I wasn't going to the gym. Like it just wasn't the top of my priority list, which is no problem at all because I was excited for first year. It was new, it was exciting, but I wasn't feeding myself proper nutrition and proper whole foods. So I ended up putting on quite a bit of weight. I started putting it on last summer, I would say. I was getting ice cream a lot, just living my best life. That's fine. What I was doing in the time, I didn't realize how it was going to make me feel kind of in the long run. So then I ended up fast forwarding, putting on like 151 pounds was my total. But like I said, I was very upset with myself in that time being. So once that happened, it was kind of like a reality check. Yeah, I was about to say a rain check. It was a reality check for me, and it kind of, that's what drove me to be motivated. Now, the scale, I cut it out. I weighed myself once a month, on the 4th of every month. That was when I weighed myself. But the scale and I are now friends, but I didn't care to look at it. What I did instead, as you could see on my Instagram post, I did progress photos. Now, if you look at my very first month, I was completely discouraged. I worked out every single day. I ate broccoli and just plain veggies with plain chicken, like portion controlled, counted my calories. I was dedicated. It's probably the most dedicated I've ever been in my entire life. Now, at this point, I don't track every single calorie, and I'll get into that. But to get myself into routine and to actually stay committed, I tracked all my calories on MyFitnessPal. I went to the gym every day, but not always doing a hard workout. Some days I just walk on the treadmill for 25 minutes to get some sort of exercise in. I'd make sure I'd take the stairs rather than the elevator. Tried to make healthier decisions for myself to better myself. With that being said, my progress photos. My first month, I was 151.6 pounds and I took my picture. I'll just insert this photo, I guess. And then a month went by, and on the 4th of February, I woke up and I was so excited. I thought I was down weight. I was down 1 pound. Now, I cried, and I called my mom at school, and I was crying my eyes out because I was so upset and discouraged. And I was like, I just worked my butt off for this, and I got 1 pound. Now, I was upset, but if you look at my photos, you can clearly see a difference. So my mom told me not to be discouraged with the number on the scale, and that I need to look at my actual progress. So if I can give anyone a tip, if you're trying to lose weight or if you're just trying to better yourself and for your body image to make yourself feel better, take pictures, because it is insane to see the difference. Like when I look back from my January photo to how I look now, I'm just like, wow, like I've come so far. And it's just like a good motivator. That is how I stay motivated, I guess, is just seeing my progress, like legitimately seeing it. But yeah, I could babble on about this, but I'm going to go on to the next question. So someone had asked, what did I weigh now, or how much do I weigh now and what did I weigh before? So like I said, I weighed 151.6 before, and to this date, what day is it? It is Thursday, August 22nd, and to this day, I weigh 135 pounds. Now, I had a goal weight in mind, which was originally 130. It's also super important to know what is, what word do I need to use? What is real? What is achievable? The reality of it. Because it's not I could be 120 pounds, but it's not an attainable weight for my body type. It's not an attainable weight for myself to be the healthiest that I possibly could be. The reason I know this is because I did go to I went to a nutritionalist. I think that's what they're called, or a dietitian. I don't even know, but because I have diet issues and my stomach. So I went to her, and she had said to me, we did a bunch of body tests and a bunch of stuff like that, and she had said to me that she would not want to ever see me under 129 pounds, which I'm okay with. 130 is something that I'm completely okay with, and I've come to terms with that. I used to be in a state of mind where I wanted to be less than what was possible for my body, and I honestly, I'm 135 pounds right now, and that 5 pounds doesn't bother me. I feel good. I'm happy. I love my body. Obviously, in my head, there's always room for improvement. I'd love to keep getting better and feel better, but I can honestly say that I am content with my body, which if you asked me a couple months ago, if you asked me in January, I didn't think I would ever be able to say that I am content with my body. So the next question here is, do you have any tips on how to stay motivated? So like I said, pictures are huge. Also talking to people. My biggest thing is, I have my family. My mom has been into fitness since she was probably my age. She said that when she was away at school, she would run on the treadmill, and that was her way to deal with stress. My mom and my dad and my brother, we've all grown up with sports and activity. My parents both track their calories on MyFitnessPal, and they all work out. My brother has been in sports for his entire life. So it's always been an active family. So growing up in a household that my mom knows about nutritional food, my mom loves food. I wish she was here right now so I could validate that. But my mom, she knows what is good, what is not good, where to put things in and take things out, portion control, numbers, macros, like. But another thing about my mom is the fact that she doesn't need to sit there and count her macros because she eats what she feels like eating, and she eats intuitively. My mom is my biggest role model. I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. I love her to beyond words can even like explain, and she has been one of the people that has been so influential on me and has given me such a good knowledge base. Also, my friend Brad, my mom has always kind of made comments to me about my food in particular, and saying I need to make a diet change. But my friend Brad, he had also helped me out on my journey and has given me a lot of knowledge about food, counting my calories, that kind of thing, but doing it in a healthy way. I by no means am putting this video out here so people become obsessed with numbers. Like I said before, I no longer count every single calorie. For instance, today I ate literally like a whole pizza. I've had candy today. I've had Gatorade. Like I have treats. I've been wanting to go get ice cream all this week. Like, by no means is this to be like so strict, cut everything out. Like, I listen to what I want and that's what I eat. Now I try my best to make a healthier option or pick the best foods, but I am human. I fall off, and I also want to treat myself because I'm 19. Like, it's life. I don't even know how to like explain the rest of it. I also have a question here. Do you track your macros? Now, I didn't even know what a macro was. The only thing it sounded like to me was macaroni, because I used to be an avid eater. I don't even know if avid's the right word for that, but I loved pasta. My mom used to call me the carbs queen. Like, Kraft Dinner was my everything until my gluten sensitivity became like out of control. Like, I just couldn't take the stomach aches. But even then, sometimes I'd push through them and still eat like carbs, and well, I still eat carbs, but like macaroni in particular. I don't even know, I just went on a tangent about pasta. Okay, back on track. So counting macros, like I said, I didn't even know what these were, but no, I was originally, I wanted to go into counting macros, but you know, it just became unachievable for me. It was not realistic. I couldn't like go that in depth with my food. It became too difficult for me, and it became more of a chore. Now, when I say a chore, you'd think that probably counting my calories and weighing my food on a food scale and all that stuff sounds like a chore, as it is. When I got into doing all this, it became a lifestyle. It was something I enjoyed doing. It made me happy. Now, don't do something that isn't going to make you happy because you're going to be miserable. It's not going to be worth your time. Counting macros, I couldn't do it. It took the life out of me. I was like, oh, like this is like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, and I was putting myself in a negative mindset. So I decided not to count macros and just to stick with what worked for me. And that's kind of what I stuck with. I also got asked, do you follow a workout plan? Now, in the beginning, no. I went to the gym and I did what I felt was best for me. So yeah, I'd kind of roughly follow days, but I didn't follow an exact plan every single week. I did what my body felt was best. So now I go to the gym, and like I have certain days of the week that I will do certain things, specifically pairing muscle groups together. So for instance, yesterday I was at the gym and I was working out my glutes and my quads, and then I also incorporate cardio and core into my workouts every time I go. I don't think, if it works for you to follow a workout plan, that's awesome. Just do what kind of works best for yourself. Obviously, I'm not a personal trainer. I've not trained for any of this. Like I said, like this is just my personal experience and like what worked best for me. And I just kind of, I learned as I went on. I guess that's the best way I could put it, is that I didn't create this big outline and be like, okay, this is my life. Like, I went with it. I went with the flow of things, what worked for me, what didn't, and just went from there. Sorry, I need a drink. The next question is, how many times do you usually go to the gym, and how do you split up your workouts? So like I said, I split them up based off muscle groups. I can go into that if people care about that. But how many times do I go to a gym a week? So at the beginning I was going every single day. Now don't get me wrong, there would be days that I wouldn't go to the gym because I was tired or was studying, didn't feel like going. I honestly decided that it was important for me to listen to my body, to give myself those breaks, because I didn't want it to become a chore. I think that's my biggest thing. I didn't want it to become like something that I didn't want to do. And if I forced myself to go, I knew I wouldn't enjoy my workout, which would cause me, hello, I'm doing a video. But yeah, it would cause me to not want to go, and then I wouldn't want to work out, and it would put me in this kind of bubble of being like, ugh, the gym. So I would listen to myself, but I got to a point where I would go every single day, and I got in a groove and a habit of going every single day. Now, since I've moved home, I was on a good roll when I first got home until about the end of June. I stopped going for a little bit, which caused me to like get in habit of not going, and made me fall off a bit, which, don't get me wrong, it's okay to have those breaks. Like, I didn't, with me taking that time off, I didn't put on like weight with taking that time off. For instance, like this past week I was slacking with going to the gym, but I used to beat myself up about it. But now I'm just kind of like, it's okay to have those breaks. It's okay to have time for your body to recover. It's okay to have that mental break. It's still really important to do things that you love and not just consume yourself with like one thing. Yes, it's great to be like goal driven and everything, but I do think it's also important to not in a sense become like obsessive and beat yourself up. That's how I used to be. Like, when I was at school, if I missed a day, if I ate something other than chicken and veggies, like, I would beat myself up about it. And I see myself in a different way now, and I've like even grown this summer and learned a lot about like what is tolerable and what I kind of want. I want it to be a lifestyle, something I enjoy, like I said, not a chore. I know this video has gotten long, so I just did want to wrap it up. I did want to say thank you to the people that did reach out to me. I was not expecting, by making one post, to get a reaction like I did. For instance, I didn't even think people cared to read my post. I didn't realize that it would be more than just the people that knew in my life what was going on. Same with these videos. Like, I am genuinely shocked that people watch them and like actually care to hear what I have to say. But with that being said, I wanted to put a thank you out there. As hard it is to, I wish I could talk. As hard as it is to love yourself, and I am not 110% there all the time, but as hard oh my god, as hard as it is, I wish that, like, if there's anything I could tell anyone watching this video, is like, you're much more than a body. You're much more than a pretty face on a screen. Everything that's in here reflects the outside. Every single person watching this video right now, you are so much more than you think. Even if you belittle yourself, if other people make mean comments, if sometimes your head tells you things that aren't the best, I want you to know that you are better than what you think you are. It's so hard. It is so unbelievably difficult to believe what other people tell you about yourself, but it is so goddamn true. I am like getting emotional. This is a huge thing that I've dealt with like for a while now, and I know that I'm not the only one, and by no means am I putting this out, or this video out here, for like pity or like people to like message me, but like, it breaks me inside to know that there are other people that felt the way that I did. But I want you guys to know that you are so much more. You have potential. You are, like, I can't even, but I just wanted to say thank you. And with that being said, I'm gonna go get some ice cream now because everyone deserves a treat. I will see you guys next weekend. Thanks for watching.